Hey guys, I decided to do my video on the Enlightenment. So let's get started. The Enlightenment began in the late 17th century and continued till the early 19th century in Europe. The Enlightenment was a period of time when the thinkers, as they call them, decided to challenge previous thought with the implementation of reason, which in turn would further the human populace. The Enlightenment was brought about by two specific instances, the first of which was the employment of the macroism-microism theory in ancient India. The macroism-microism theory claimed that the human body was essentially a small universe, just as the universe was made up of certain mechanisms and systems and made up of certain components, so was the human body, and they all intertwined to function as one. And they extended this theory to claim that the human was essentially comparable to God, that we can do the same things as He can do, but obviously on a much smaller scale. And that's where this humanistic ego came into play, in the sense that we were put here on this earth to figure things out, to discover the truth, and that we were given the capabilities to do so with our reasoning. The second point at which the Enlightenment was influenced or brought about was the Protestant Reformation. In the 16th, 17th centuries, an Austrian monk named Martin Luther decided to challenge the Roman Catholic Church. He thought the Roman Catholic Church was corrupt in the sense that the clergymen, the people with religious positions, were given certain entitlements to the king, and that they were not using the Bible or God's word in their teachings, and that's why he thought it was corrupt, and he decided to publicize his grievances in his publishment of the 95 Theses. This was his way of challenging the Roman Catholic Church, and this was the inspiration or motivation for the Enlightenment, and it creates an analogy with it also. As the Protestant Reformation challenged the Roman Catholic Church, the Enlightenment challenged society, in the sense that why is there government, or why is society stratified? And this was the focus of John Locke, as well as Montesquieu and Voltaire, for instance. But John Locke in particular thought that everyone had certain inalienable rights, God-given rights, that could not be taken away from them. And instead of saying that the clergymen deserved this over the non-clergymen, or the poor were subject to the rich, or the rich deserved advantages that the poor didn't, he said that people were all the same in God's eyes, and that we all had inalienable rights, natural rights that we were all entitled to. And that was what the Enlightenment was about, challenging previous thought, and for the reasons that you may not think is fair, or whatever the case may be. It's just challenging previous thought with the reason that we were given. And this train of thought was brought over to the American colonies, and it, poured the foundation for what our democracy is like today. Thank you.